So in this video, I'm going to share a couple of cases, a couple of examples that you would have when it comes to graphing your work. And then the language that you must include when you complete your assignment, especially when you record your video. I expect
you guys use both language, English and your home language. So honestly, I will not be able to understand fully your home language part, but I think that will help you and your parents fully understand where you are at and academically, especially when it comes to graduation. And I think that will really help you and your parents, and then even me, myself, before the teacher parents conference. Okay, so all of you guys have review your credit history with me, and then I'm just giving you example. Let's say one of the students have 34 credit so far, and
it looks like he needs to reach 46 credit to be able to graduate. Then 46 minus 34 is 12 credit, for example. We need 12 more credit. So let's say 34 plus this student said, oh, I think I will be able to have 3 credit every month or 4 credit every month. Normally we said at least the students should have 2 credit. But anyway, so this student said I can handle like whatever, how many credit. So that is, I will use R. Some students, you guys use M. Normally in math, M represents a slope. R, it's okay. A, B, whatever the letter you want to use. You just need to define what your R is. In this case, I define R, the rate. So how many credits you would have per a month. So R times X, and then you also need to define what X is. And I will say X represent number of working months. Number of working month. The reason that I say working months because some of you guys are planning to work during the summer break. Some explicitly said, no, I will have my summer off. In that case, you should not count those summer months, okay? So 34 plus R times X, that is equal to how many credit? The Y is total number of credit in this case. And this student, A, for example, he needs to get the 46. Some of the students already have lots of elective from a previous school, some not. Depends on your credit history. This number might change, right? But in this case, we already know this particular student is a 46. And then he decided to have, I'm going to have 3 credit every month. So we already have 34 plus 3 times X, which is a 3X. That is equal to 46. We already have this, okay? Some students like to have inequality. And if you want to see that way, that is okay. As long as that you put greater than equal to like that, that's okay. Not the other way around, right? Okay. Then I'm sure you guys by this time know how to solve this equation. So I am skipping that part because we practice a lot. So I bet you guys already know. When it comes to graph, some of the students, this is the part that I really want you to think before you start to graphing. You need to think about your domain and your range. And then we talk about this earlier. So domain is all about possible x value, and then range is all about possible y value. If somebody define the range is all the possible numbers that can be y, then I will say, well, I disagree. In this case, can you have negative numbers when it comes to number of credit? No, you cannot, right? And then we already start with like 33, right? And you don't have to consider the numbers that is smaller than 33. So I will start thinking of, if I think a range is start with a 33, for example, and then 34, 35, 36, all the way up to 46, something like that. If I see that way, this is my brace. Okay, so if I see that way, it means I see my range as a discrete number, okay, which means there's no fraction, there's no decimal between 33, 34. There's no 33.1 or 2 or 35 1/4. There's no such thing like that. And then okay, so this is important. Okay, some people think, well, when I have a credit, it will be like either I have a earn credit or not. So if you see that way, then you will see it more like this way, discrete. And if you see it as a continuous, like somebody said, well, I'm almost done with math work, and then my teacher said that 80% is done, then, or 90% is done, then I will say 0.8 or 0.9 credit, something like that. So if you see that way, then your domain is continuous, right? Same thing, range, number of credit, okay? So domain is the number of working month. It's the same thing. If somebody see time as a continuous concept, well, I know we will count first month, second month, third month, but you know what? It's a time, so I can think of like 1 month and a half, something like that. So if you see that way, this is also continuous. But if you say, well, I just want to check at the end of the month if I have how many, to see how many credit I earn at the end of the month, and then it will be just first month, second month, month 3, month 4, like that. And it will be discrete.
This is my 33, and then, so if these students, let's say
slope is 2 or 3, then if the slope is 2 means he's earning 2 credit every month. If slope is 3, that's 3 credit every month, okay? You guys know that part. This means these students consider your X domain and Y both
continuous concept, and that's why we have
this straight line connecting those dots, okay? Some students go, well, I'm not gonna work exact same pacing. Then you might go like, ooh, like this. Have a different pacing. That means you will have a different slope, okay? This means flat line means this month he's not earning any credit. But this month is more steep slope. That means more credit than this one, right? So these are the cases that you see your X and Y value as continuous. But some of you might have something like
this. Okay. This means, well, have the pretty much the same steady pacing. Sorry. And then
here, he earned probably more credit, right? Because it's more steep than this one, okay? But anyway, so this particular student did not connect to those dots with a line. What does that mean? He thinks his domain and a range as discrete number. So there's no decimal end point. Month 1 and month 2, month 3. There's no 1.2 or 1.5 a month or 41.7 credit. There's no such thing, okay? Or some students even do this.
now,
Month of 0, current. So 0 means right now. 30, was it 33 or 34? Was it 34? Okay, 34. And then working month of 1, and then he will have something like that. And then here he start another like this, start like this, start like this, okay? So what does, and then you have to have this line here, okay? And then one thing that I want to ask you guys first, we study about the definition of the function. So use the definition of the function and then give yourself a few like 5 seconds, and then tell me if this is a function or not. Okay, good. This is a function because it does pass the vertical line test, right? Very good. This is also very interesting. This is, I would say, piecewise function as well. Okay. This is very interesting because this person see X value, the number of working credit, number of working months, he or she consider it as a time, and therefore he see it as more like continuous idea. While Y value, the number of credit, he or she approach it as more discrete. Like that's why like he has this type of graph. Okay. I think I cover most of the graph that you would have, and please let me know if your graph doesn't look like one of those 4, and I love to take a look yours and then chat with you and then learn how you approach this problem. So the purpose of this video recording assignment at the end of this whole task, making sure that you show making sure you show what you know, articulate every step you take to complete this assignment. And you need to start with define what is your variable, like what's your X, what's your Y, what that number 3 means or 2 means, and then you need to think about that. And then when it comes to show the graph, and I also want you to explain how you end up like the graph that you have. And also, so please make sure like how you define your domain and a range, okay?
And then also I want your parents to understand how good you are in this, and then also they also need to know your academic progress. And then please include all the revision that we had. Some of you guys plan to have 2 credit every month, and then realize, oh, okay, I cannot do that. Otherwise, I need to stay like 2 extra more years in high school. Oh no, I don't want to do that. So some of you guys change your mind and then plan to have summer school and then revise your work. That's great. Some of you guys realize, oh, I need to do 4 credit instead of 2. Revise it, and please include that. Some of you guys have a work jobs after school, and then you don't think it's ideal to have a plan like 4 to 5 credit every month. It's just not possible. You feel that way, so we say, okay, let's just keep 3 credit or 2.5 credit, and then have 1 more extra year to complete high school. So some of you guys consider lots of other factors in your life and then make that decision. So when it comes to recording your process, I want you to go detail about this so your parents also understand what kind of discussion you had with me, with your teacher, and what kind of decision you made. They also need to know, right? So please include all this kind of revision. We had lots of like conversation and second thought. Please include all that detail. And then this is not only for math assignment. Okay, this is the opportunity to show how well you can articulate your thought in both language, in English and in your home language. So please use this opportunity wisely. And if you need any extra help on anything, please let me know. Thank you.